What is the fastest you've driven down a highway? Have you ever broken any speed limits, and has that gotten you into any trouble with the police? We gotta admit it, sometimes we have an urge to break those speed limits and go a bit faster just so we can reach our destination sooner. But sometimes we also do it just because it feels good to get that adrenaline rush and feel the excitement of the moment. However, that's not always ideal, and sometimes it can even lead to major accidents that cost the lives of many. Now, there are a few animals out there that can keep up with the speed of your car or even go faster than you without getting in trouble with any laws. And on that note, today we're going to be looking at 10 animals faster than cars. You'll be surprised to see the amount of animals that can actually move faster than your car. I'm sure you can still beat some of them by breaking some laws and using a car that's able to run that fast. But I doubt you can ever beat the animals I have at the top of the list. I'm sure you already know of at least one of them. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. The black buck. Also known as the Indian antelope, this animal can run as fast as 80 kilometers per hour. Its name comes from the fact that the males have a dark brown or black color on the upper part of their skin. They are associated with multiple cultural aspects of the Indian society. In fact, while the number of black bucks around the world has decreased due to hunting, a lot of people in India and Nepal still respect them and keep themselves from harming them. Some people even worship them actually, and there are a lot of religious books that mention them. Hindu mythology even claims that a black buck is the animal that carries the chariots of Lord Krishna. The black buck is also considered to be the vehicle of Vayu, Soma, and Chandra, who are different deities in the Hindu culture. It makes sense that this animal serves as transportation to the gods. After all, the black buck is one of the fastest animals in the region. Number 9. The lion. Next on our list, we have one of the more popular animals out there, the lion. This animal can reach speeds of about 80.5 kilometers per hour, just slightly faster than the black buck. This animal is not only fast, but it is also one of the wildest predators in the world. Lions are considered hypercarnivores, which means that their diet is more than 70% meat. That is more than enough to make the lion a very intimidating beast. One of the lion's major competitors is the hyena, which is not as fast, but it will challenge the lions for prey and carrion. But lions usually ignore these competitors, unless the hyenas start harassing them, of course. One thing we need to remember is that lions hunt as a group, so you would never want to be their prey because you'll probably not just have one to contend with, but quite a few of them chasing after you. Perhaps your car can go a bit faster than them, but then again, lions are also powerful beasts, so you still wouldn't stand a chance. Number 8. The blue wildebeest. Also with a speed of 80.5 kilometers per hour, the blue wildebeest can be as fast as the lion. This creature, however, is an herbivore. The blue wildebeest live in the southern part of Africa. They get their name from the silvery blue sheen of their coat. However, the Khoikhoi people in southwestern Africa call them gnu. Both male and female have horns shaped like parentheses. They belong to the antelope family, but they have a lot of similarities with cows and buffaloes, such as the shape of their body and horns. These animals are active during the day, and while they're one of the fastest animals in the world, they also like to spend more than half of the day resting. Most of the time you can find them grazing, walking around, and having little to none social reactions. But that also depends on whether they're male or female and whether they're old or young. Since they mostly eat grass, their speed is not really necessary when it comes to getting food for themselves. Instead, they use their speed to run from animals that would want to make them food, such as lions, hyenas, crocodiles, and cheetahs. Unfortunately, some of these predators are still faster than the blue wildebeest. Number 7. The springbok. The springbok is a kind of antelope that lives in the southern part of the African continent. In fact, this is a national symbol of South Africa. The springbok can run as fast as 88 kilometers per hour, and they don't have to worry about predators because most of them ignore the springbok. Unless they're breeding, of course. Some of the main predators include caracals, cheetahs, leopards, hyenas, lions, and wild dogs. And some wildcats and eagles attack young springboks. The springboks are usually quiet unless they're greeting each other or feeling alarmed. They mostly graze, and sometimes they eat succulents and grass. They can get all the water they need from their food, so the dry season doesn't necessarily have an impact on them. In fact, the springboks can spend their lives without drinking any water if the circumstances are that extreme. That's easy for them since, after all, most of the plants they eat are good reservoirs of water and can give the springboks the hydration that they need. As opposed to other African animals, springbok get together during the wet season and disperse during the dry season. It sounds like they're pretty self-sufficient. Number 6. The quarter horse. The next animal on this list is one that even has its own speed competition event, the American quarter horse. This is an American breed of horse used for horse races. It is known for its great speed while sprinting at short distances. Some of them have registered speeds of about 88.5 kilometers per hour. No wonder they call them the world's fastest athletes. Other relevant features that make them fit for races are their strong muscular body, their broad chest, and their solid and rounded hindquarters. This breed of horse came to be during the 1600s in what is now the eastern side of the United States. People started breeding English thoroughbred horses with native horses such as the Chickasaw horse. One of the most famous imports was a horse named Janus, who was the descendant of another famous horse named Godolphin Arabian. Janus's genes were crucial to developing the American quarter breed. The result of this breeding was a small, hardy, and quick horse. People then started using these horses for working during weekdays, and then on the weekends they'd be taken to the races to compete. Today, the American quarter horse is not only the fastest, but perhaps it's also the most sophisticated horse out there. Number 5. The pronghorn. Also known as the American antelope or prairie antelope, the pronghorn is the fastest animal in the Western Hemisphere, with the ability to run as fast as 88.5 kilometers per hour. You can find it in the central part of North America. Its high speed allows the pronghorn to run away from predators, although they don't really stand a chance. Zoologist Bayer suggests the pronghorn got its running ability due to escaping from predators that are now extinct, like the American cheetah. This assumption is drawn from the fact that the pronghorn is significantly faster than any current predators. The pronghorn's respiratory system makes it possible for the animal to run long distances at high speeds without compromising its health. This mammal has a windpipe heart and lungs big enough to take in enough air for a fast run. At the beginning of the 20th century, some people thought the pronghorn was likely to be extinct. Luckily, a lot of things have changed since then, and now there is a global population that stays between the numbers of 500,000 and 1 million. There was a bit of decline due to some threatening diseases, but overall the species has managed to survive, and today we can still call it one of the fastest animals in the world. Number 4. The swordfish. So far we've seen animals that live on land, but there are also some pretty fast animals that don't live on land and more or less in the water. That's the case of the swordfish, a migratory and predatory fish that can swim as fast as 97 kilometers per hour. They're also pretty big, reaching about 3 meters, which is longer than most humans. While a lot of people think that swordfish uses its sword to spear through its prey, the fish actually uses it to injure the prey by slashing it and then catch it. The swordfish is known to prefer water temperatures around the 20 degrees Celsius, and then they go to colder temperatures to get food during the summer. They are big and powerful fish, but they usually do not attack humans. Usually. However, back in 2015, a fisherman in Hawaii was killed by a swordfish after the man tried to spear the fish. While swordfishing is a sport and the existence of the species has been threatened several times, there have been efforts and laws made to stop the abuse of the swordfish. Today, the animal is a least concerned species and can freely swim through the ocean. Number 3. Anna's hummingbird. The next animal I have on this list is not only fast but also a very small one, and it's not a runner or a swimmer, but it's a flyer. A North American native, Anna's hummingbird lives along the Pacific coast. It was bred mainly in Southern California in the US and Baja California in Mexico during the early 20th century. The bird was named after Anna Massena, who was the Duchess of Rivoli. This animal can move as fast as 98 kilometers per hour, which makes it faster than a fighter jet and the fastest bird in relation to its size, meaning it can fly at very fast speeds for a bird that small. These hummingbirds can also shake their bodies for around 55 times per second just to shed rain during the rainy season, and they also do this during dry weather to get rid of pollen or dirt that gets to their feathers. Anna's hummingbirds manage to move this fast thanks to their pectoral muscles that empower their flight and keep them from getting tired too easily. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's picture is one of an animal that you were probably expecting to see on this list. It really shouldn't be a surprise at this point because let's be honest. Number 2. The cheetah belongs on this list. The fastest land mammal is the cheetah, with an ability to reach speeds between 110 to 120 kilometers per hour. This is way faster than most of us have been able to drive, unless you're a Formula 1 driver or if you own a very fast car and you have the ability and space to drive it. But most of us will never be able to reach the speed of a cheetah. As a predator, the cheetah has a lot of advantage thanks to its speed. But if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that some animals out there will stand a fight against cheetahs, like the hyenas. In general, the cheetahs like to hunt for medium-sized prey like gazelles, blesbok, and even the springbok, which we previously saw on this list. Larger prey such as zebras and ostriches are generally avoided. It's only when cheetahs hunt together that they go for larger animals. Most cheetahs like to hunt during daytime, but in some parts they prefer to hunt after sunset just to avoid the high temperatures that come with sunlight. With high speed abilities and an ambitious diet, the cheetah is probably the most intimidating runner of them all.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. The peregrine falcon. What animal is the fastest? One that flies, of course. The fastest bird in the world is also the fastest member of the animal kingdom. The peregrine falcon can reach a speed of 320 kilometers per hour during a hunting stoop. This is bad news for doves and pigeons, which are the falcon's main source of food. They rarely eat mammals, but sometimes they like to eat rats, hares, and squirrels. Good thing these birds are not big enough to hunt humans, because we would never be able to move fast enough to get away from these birds. So it doesn't matter how fast you go on the highway, you're never going to be able to go as fast as this falcon. And there you have it, 10 of the fastest animals in the world. What's the fastest you've driven? Was it faster than the highest speed records of some of these animals? Let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.